So I wanted to come on here and talk to you guys about the 3 books that I'm reading right now. I'm having a weird thing with my camera where it's showing up backwards, but I just want to show you anyways. So the first one is Don't Sweat the Small Stuff for Teens, Find the Good, and then Practicing the Power of Now. Okay, so Don't Sweat the Small Stuff for Teens. There's 100 different chapters, and each chapter is 2 or 3 pages, and they're each different things that you shouldn't be sweating. One of them is Drop the Drama. Another one is Be Happy for Others. Avoid the words I know when someone is talking. Watch the sunset. Don't sweat the breakups. This one was interesting because he said something about if it weren't for breakups, all of us would marry the very first person we were interested in. Kind of, when you think about that, that would kind of suck. You don't want to marry the first person you've ever liked. So that, I think that's just, it's little things like that you've never really thought about, and then you're like, oh, this downfall is actually definitely a positive. Some of my other favorite ones were Let People Talk, Put It on Paper, which I actually read another book called Write It Down, Make It Happen, and that book is amazing. I want to come on and do a book review about that shortly as well. Embrace the Perfect Imperfections, that's one of my favorites. And actually with this book, I have a journal, but I actually have it right here. But usually I just keep it, I don't really carry it around with me in case I were to lose it, because that would really just not be good. So I have a little journal that I carry around with me when I want to write down goals or quotes from this book. I just want to read you guys a few of the ones that I really like. I mean, I literally have pages. I think I have 4 different pages of quotes from the book. But some of my favorites are, one is This Too Shall Pass. When I'm having a hard time, it's going to come to an end, that everything changes and it's not going to last forever. I wrote Crew, so there are a lot of moments where I'm actually feel like I'm dying, and I just tell myself, this is going to pass, this is going to end. It doesn't take away the pain, obviously, but it makes me feel a little bit better. Another one is Continue Your Journey, little change here, little change there, everything will eventually add up. And I love that because it's all just about improvements. I think, at least for me, when I think about just the end result, it really stresses me out, or the end goal of where I want to be. I just kind of freak out, so I kind of have to give myself goals, smaller goals to finally get there. Even when you're reading these books, there's so many things that we could change about ourselves, and if we really thought about that, it's overwhelming. So you kind of have to do it in steps. Another one is, as I read in here, Perfect Imperfections. The universe knows what it's doing. Everything is perfect in its own way. I love that so much. Another one is Read 8 pages a day. So by the end of the year, you'll read 3,000 pages. Develop your presence. It will become magical and magnetic. Being present and focused will bring out the best in others. It brings better relations. Let me pick one more. Okay, try to receive things that usually bother you with an attitude of acceptance. Here's another chance to build my strength. So yeah, these are awesome, and I definitely recommend it the most out of anything I'm about to share. But the other 2 books are great too for different reasons. Find the Good. Honestly, for this book, it's kind of just short stories. It's really short. It's 170 pages, and the pages are small, so you kind of get right through it. But it's short stories from her own personal life. It's not like this where there's 1,000,001 things that you could highlight, which I feel like the whole book is highlighted for me. For this book, I have more just little things underlined. But the little things that are underlined have made an impact on me, so I still recommend the book, especially since it's so quick to read and take you 2 days if you wanted it to. Some of the things, I love this one. This says that look for the helpers. So when a bad incident happens and life is getting really hard, if you just look at the helpers, look for the motorcycle club collecting canned goods for the food bank. Look for the guys grilling the hot dogs for hurricane refugees. Look for the EMTs wheeling the stretcher into the ambulance. So I thought that was cool. I also love, this is the same page, so that's why I'm kind of bouncing back and forth, but this point is great. Darkness makes light visible. Her son had asked her why the stars only come out at night, and she said because darkness makes light visible. And I just think that's so cool, because it kind of reminds you that in the darkest times, there's always light, there's always something positive, there's always a reason for it. So I love that. Another one is Things Change, I Can Too, It's Not Too Late. So there's a lot of stuff that I've underlined in here. It's definitely helpful, and it's cool to read little stories. I definitely recommend this book. Okay, the third book is Practicing the Power of Now. I've only read 30 pages, so I'm going to come back and give you guys a full review. It's kind of hard for me to get through because for these kind of books, I like to read them very slowly. And so I'll take a few pages and then like let it really sink in and try to put forth whatever I've read into my everyday life. So that's the same with this book, and I have a really hard time trying to be present, so that's why this book is taking me extra long. I feel like I'm always planning my future or thinking about the past. Social media and phones and computer, like you're just never like there in the moment. It's hard. It's really hard to be. So this book is helping me for sure. It's kind of talking about the importance of why you should be present, about how much it helps with enlightenment, being connected, relationships, being happy. Oh, another really interesting point is when they said ego, the present moment hardly exists. Only past and future are considered important. The mind is so dysfunctional. It's just kind of a lot of the times when I've started to try to plan my like future, and I can tell that it's going in like an egotistical direction where I'm thinking about what other people are going to think of me more than what I want myself. I try to remember that that's the mind being dysfunctional, and I have to just focus on myself and why I want to achieve the things I want to achieve, and not think about other people's impressions of me in good and bad ways. Those are the 3 books. I definitely recommend them. I'm going to keep coming back on here to do more videos like this, so stay tuned, and thanks for watching. Bye.